What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. Big kudos to everyone that protested last week in Nigeria.
National budget is missing. Mr. President is missing. All Nigeria is missing.
This government is taking us for granted. Too many incompetent people in office, more than a year of unpaid workers' salaries, and we don't even know what is going on. You're not carrying us along.
Democracy used to be a government of the people, by the people, for the people. But the Nigerian system have now told us that democracy is a government of the rich, by the rich, to make laws for the poor to suffer.
The fact that government wants to stop a protest is proof that protests are important. From southern Kaduna to Biafra, all Nigerian lives must matter.
We don't move too much. Enough is enough. There is no point for them to hide in our president.
We tried a political party, People's Democratic Party, that is now known as People Deceiving People or Papa Deceiving Pekin. Then we move on another political party, All Progressives Congress, that we now know as All Present Criminals.
I beg, tell them. You know, while the real protest was going on, some people were protesting in support of Mr. President. They hired protesters.
We don't get money. But we not come support Buhari now. Who push you come? They don't pay una. They never pay. But they say they will pay una.
How much is it give una?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then these same people were begging people for money to buy water.
How much be water make I give you milk una buy?
This is what Nigeria has become. What am I even talking about? Nothing surprises me anymore about Nigeria. I mean, did you guys see how they welcomed former Governor James Buhari to his hometown? This is a man that served 6 years in UK prison for allegedly stealing $250 million. Sometimes I try to imagine what that kind of money would look like. $250 million. Hey, father, $250 million. Money that he was supposed to use to develop his state, Delta State. These same people were the ones giving him a heroic welcome.
God that gave Jesus also gave James Onanefe Ibori.
Now you know why Nigeria is the way it is. Meanwhile, our president is missing, as in, yes, Mr. Oga Buhari. Not like missing. He's in London, you know, but he's missing in action, MIA. They told us that he was going for a 10-day vacation and medical checkup. Now checkup has become emergency surgery. We don't know exactly what his sickness is. He wrote lawmakers recently that he's extending his vacation. Now we are hearing that the president may be spending 4 months abroad. 4 months. Please stop sending me this. This is not real CNN. Buhari is not dead. It's becoming ridiculous. All these people that are now creating fake news sites. You know, they now have UK Mirror, the Nigerian version. It's just too much. Stop sending me this story. It's not true. So I don't think that he's dead. The only thing that I don't understand is why Mr. President cannot do a live video to tell us how you're doing. Forget about Skype. Facebook has made everything easy now. Meanwhile, the government keeps telling us that Buhari is well, hale, and hearty. Hey, we be Momo? Do we look like Momo to you, Mr. Light?
No, baby, no, don't lie.
Shut up. We all know that the man has a problem telling the truth, but you don't have to expose him like that. You're welcome, sir, Mr. Lai Mohammed. God bless you. Just like Koledowo, many people have been talking, you know, enemies of progress. They've been saying that you're a liar. Not me, just enemies of progress. You know, nobody believes anything you say anymore, and I'm starting to get worried about you. You know, I'm all about your welfare. I'm all about making sure that you are okay. But were you not the same person asking for daily update on Yar'Adua's health in 2009 when he was sick? In fact, I still remember what you said at that time. I pretended it out, sir. You said that it is clear to discerning Nigerians that those pretending to speak authoritatively on the president's health are deceiving the public, since they are neither well informed on the issue nor competent to speak on it. The health of the president as a public figure can no longer be of interest only to his family and friends. Hey, Nigerians have the right to know. My father, you You said this. You said this about Yaradua. You said this to the then Minister of Information. Now that you are the Minister of Information, my father, we are just asking the same thing that you asked of the former Minister of Information. No, lie. My father, just tell us what is going on. Stop telling us stories. Didn't Buhari tell us before he became president that medical tourism will become something of the past when he becomes president? You see, Mr. President lied to us. Don't beg me. Buhari lied to us.
Are you in touch with the president?
Daily. I'm not saying I speak with him direct, but I'm in touch with London daily. People around him will speak daily.
Oluwagbame, what is this? That is the special advisor to the president, okay? My father, you're welcome to this program. So you speak with him every day, but not him.
I'm not saying I speak with him direct, but I'm in touch with London daily. People around him will speak daily.
What happened to this man? My eyes is pushing me because of you. Are you an assistant to Buhari or the people around Buhari? Which one?
Why then did you not advise that the letter which came on Sunday afternoon should have come a lot earlier, because the National Assembly were not sitting, and they're not at the moment?
They're not? I thought they were going to sit today.
That is a feminine doing. No way.
Well, I am sure that if an emergency comes up, they can always ask them to show up and take a decision. And I don't think this is like a national emergency. This is more like following due process.
The man is contradicting himself. Why? This is how people feel jam and WAEC. Simple question. Actually, I cannot blame Mr. Adesina. Stop laughing. I can't blame Mr. Femedish. Hopefully he's watching. Don't mind calling the world. He's very troublesome. I honestly don't envy this man's job. I mean, his job is very difficult. But you know, my yoga, why not call me? Hello, Adeola. What do I tell people? Buhari is not coming back anytime soon. No, I don't know what is going on. No, what do I tell people? And I will say, my father, you know, do it. That is how you ask somebody, Bella. You see how you were honest with me and you told me the truth? Just tell Nigerians the truth. People will appreciate if you just tell them the truth. You know, don't try to cover up anything. And you can always say no comment. Instead, you were stammering on air, Mr. Adesina, like somebody that is lying. I'm not saying that you lied, but that is what your body language looks like. You know, I've met you several times. This is not you, Mr. Adesina. This right here is not you. I know that you're supposed to make the president look good, but in a responsible and accountable way. Don't forget that this job is temporary, fa. It is temporary. Your integrity is being questioned every day by millions of Nigerians, and it shouldn't be so. What happens when you're no longer a presidential aide? Would people still be able to trust you? You know, I'm just worried about not just your time in office, but what happens after you're no longer a presidential aide. The cocoa of the matter is the medical condition of a president. The status of his health should be made public, especially when he's using taxpayers' money for treatment abroad. You know, that is even more expensive than if he's getting treatment in Nigeria. He's a public official. He's not a private citizen. He's responsible and accountable to the people who put him in power. And especially if he can no longer do the job, he needs to let people know that. And speaking of public, let's go back to the protest. Why did Two-Face, Baba, why did he cancel leading the protest? My brother, seriously, you did not know that the government would not be happy about you protesting before you announced to everybody that you would lead a protest? We actually thought that for real, you are now an activist. You know, you fooled everybody. You fooled us all. You know, I was rooting for you that, thank God for people like Two-Face or Baba. But you know, that aside, I'm really concerned that freedom of expression is now under attack in Nigeria under Buhari's administration. I heard that Two-Face was threatened by people in government. I don't know how true that is, but forget about whether they paid him to lead the protest or not. I'm really concerned that this new administration is shutting people down, including the press. Last month, police raided the office of Premium Times and they arrested the publisher as well as a journalist. journalists, detaining them briefly. And in the same month, they arrested the nation's reporter in Uyo and they flew him to Abuja because of a Facebook post. I was like, Facebook post, so people can no longer write stuff on Facebook. Still in the same month of January, they arrested the publisher of Biafra Times and 9 others. And last September, the publisher of Abia Facts newspaper was arrested in Uyo. And in January of last year, one professor was arrested for criticizing Buhari on Facebook. On Facebook! Isn't this what they call dictatorship? Forget about whether you like me or not. Hopefully somebody in the presidency is watching this show, because very soon these people will come to the UN General Assembly. They will want to look good. Show Nigerian news is everywhere. You think people don't know what is going on? You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anyone. Meanwhile, some people remain above the law in Nigeria. You know, Nigerian soldiers were recently recorded beating a physically challenged man, allegedly for wearing an army camouflage. So let me warn you before Kolido plays the video that it's graphic, in case there's somebody that cannot watch this, but they basically beat up the guy and the world needs to see this atrocity. Can you imagine that? I honestly don't know where to start. I was so outraged, and I'm still outraged that this happened in my country. This is a physically challenged man. Maybe someone gave him an outfit and he was so happy to put it on. Whatever, I don't even care whether he was wearing a camouflage or not. There is nothing that warrants this kind of treatment, especially for a physically challenged man. And you know the sad thing? I've seen some Nigerians blaming the guy for wearing the camouflage, and I was like, I wish I know what to say to you. You think that if that was a minister's son that they would treat him like that? Governor Ayofayoshe wore the same thing not long ago and nobody did anything. If you don't want people to wear camouflage in Nigeria, why not fine them? Just tell people that you will pay 10,000 naira if you are caught wearing camouflage. Even animals are not treated like this. You are treating people like animals. But again, when you think about how Nigerian soldiers are trained, I mean, you wouldn't be surprised that some of them act like this. Although I'm very happy that those soldiers were arrested, they were demoted, and they've been tried and sentenced to 21 days with hard labor. Also, the handicapped man was brought in. They gave him clothes, they gave him money. Honestly, I think we should just thank God for social media, because something like this would happen in the past and nothing would be done about it. So thank God for social media. Nigerian soldiers are beginning to respect human rights, and that's amazing. Hopefully more people would report such incidents if you ever see it happening. You know, there should be a law that any Nigerian soldier caught doing something like this would lose his job and serve jail time. If we have a law like that, soldiers will stop harassing civilians in Nigeria. Also, if you notice in the video, no one standing there came to the guy's rescue, and that's because the soldiers will beat them up as well. We need a total reformation in Nigeria. We need to redefine what is acceptable. In so many countries, it's not a big deal if you're wearing camouflage, but this is what happens to you if you wear that in Nigeria. Anyway, you guys not doing much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.